the sound. Yeah.
So we are going to present the open
Sailing project.
So we're not alone. We actually have quite a lot of our members in the front row. This is Cesar, Oli, Colette,
Hitomi, Yoko,
Harrison. Yeah, Harrison in the back. Sir.
So at the end of the talk, please engage conversation with us, and we'll be very happy to develop more. So we only two. So my name is Cesar Harada.
And I'm Hiromi Ozaki.
And the lecture that you are seeing now is entirely online, and you can. This is the URL, so it's tinyurl/OS Barbican, and you can download this lecture, and you can also embed it on your own website if you're blogging. Just
Oops, sorry. Oh. Okay. Yeah. So what is open sailing? Yeah. Open sailing is a collaborative framework for producing research, engineering technology, and actual construction for living at sea. And there are many, many agendas in open sailing, but one of the main vision is to create the International Ocean Station, which we're going to explain later. And the third thing about open sailing, it's kind of like a research platform. It's like a platform to host many technical or social experiments. And this is the concept video that goes through most of open sailing in 4 minutes. So if I'm just going to start playing it. Yeah? Cool.
Did you go to video? The quality is bad.
Yeah? Do you want to go to video?
Just click on this link and...
New tab?
Perfect.
Cool. Sure.
Open sailing. We want to live at sea, and we want to do it well, comfortably, sustainably, and safely. We want delicious food, a great social life, a space to work and play. We've come together, a diverse team from all walks of life, to design our future on the ocean. With our combined skills, we're pioneering innovative architecture, navigation, and sea farming techniques. So how does it work? 1. Instinctive architecture. At the core of open sailing is instinctive architecture. Open sailing behaves like an intelligent living organism, reacting to the conditions around it. When the conditions are good, we spread out and harvest. Open sailing automatically occupies the largest space possible with its nets and harvesting facilities to reap the oceanic rewards. When the conditions are dangerous and stormy, open sailing compacts itself into a tight, dense craft, deepening its reach and using the less important surrounding elements to dispel the energy of waves. When we want to move, open sailing stretches for the maximum speed, using oceanic currents and winds to move efficiently. Nets are raised while kites drag the vessel along in the water. Nomadic ecosystem. We are at one with the sea, inhabiting not one large object, but many smaller, independent units that form a superorganism. Each unit performs a different function, such as harvesting fresh water, energy, fishes, plankton and algae, or providing space for leisure. In return, we enrich the life of the ocean itself. Unlike most boats coated with pollutive anti-fouling paint, we actively encourage marine life to become part of us. Instead of holding vegetables and animals in captivity, we create a favorable open environment. Open sailing is a nomadic ecosystem. 3. Swarm operating system. Modern boats have GPS, radar, VHF radio that inform them about where they are and basic data around them. Open sailing is a fleet of floating objects that uses swarm operating system, a computer program that feeds in real-time attractors, resources, places of interest, as well as anti-attractors, natural catastrophes, political instability, pollution, as customizable parameters. The swarm operating system suggests the safest nice locations, as well as a general urbanistic structure, a way to manage people's desires and fears, resources, and social activities. 4. Energy animal. Now we have the imperative for renewable resources of energy. Open sailing uses energy animal that generates electricity simultaneously using wind, solar, and wave power. We produce energy continuously, whatever the weather. 5. Live cable. We are developing one single standard cable that can safely provide us energy, water, waste management, and data. This has a huge potential for construction industries in the developing world, as well as application for outer space. Perspective. We already have an international space station. Open sailing is designed as the first stage toward reaching a series of international ocean stations, so that we can develop technologies, host experiments, and learn from the oceans that cover the majority of our beautiful planet. All of open sailing's hardware and software design is open source, so anybody can use for greater good. Right now, we are designing an ocean training. In April, we are building our first prototype. In May, we're sailing and testing Open Sailing 01 at sea. End of June, we are presenting our experimentation results. We are still looking for collaborators and sponsors. The best way to predict our future is to invent it. Open sailing.
Great. So, thank you. So you can see that we're running a little bit behind of the schedule that we were proposing a few months ago, but the open sailing is still ongoing. And so that's open sailing in 4 minutes. But we'd like to explain how it started.
The process.
The
story of the project.
Yeah. And Cesar started the original idea of open sailing. And in the beginning, we wanted to map out the fear that we have. So what are the existing threats?
Originally, the open sailing wasn't a boat project or ocean project in particular. It started at the Royal College of Arts as a brief about psychology, and it was called mind control. How do you manipulate people, basically? And the factor that was interested in was fear, because with fear you can get the best of people and the worst as well. So I was trying to see how do you foster like really big major threats, like really like anxiousness, like global anxiousness, into something really constructive. I was interested in transformative power of fear. Mm-hmm. And then I looked at the fact that the fear or the threats, they are almost always you can always associate them with an area, with a space. Yeah. For example, the human density, where you have too much human density is potentially dangerous, pandemics, violent conflicts, so civil war and war, or countries at war, maritime piracy, nuclear civilian power plant fallout, potential, high sea pollution, so usually countries with high industry, sea level rising of 1 meter, which is not so much, but well, it's a lot. Pole-shift hypothesis, so some are also very unlikely events. The tsunami risk associated usually with the earthquake position, the cold sea position where it's difficult to inhabit, cold land where there's a lot of wind, and low biomass where there's not much chlorophyll, so no food chain basically. If you overlay all these threat maps, it's a bit worrying. You don't really know where to go on holiday, but we get this blacked out map. And the darker it is and the more dangerous, so most of the safe place in the world is at sea. That was the new start of the project.
So ocean, that's
ocean
how it
was
all
the direction.
And oftentimes threats have inspired designers to create design solutions. And in 1964, Archigram proposed Walking City. And that was their solution in 1960. So Walking City is a robotic city that roams around the Earth, avoiding threats or going near resources. So that was their idea of mass needs then. So that was more total solution to threats and more rigid, more group thinking. So in open sailing, we want to rethink Walking City in 2009.
What we did at the beginning was to think an operating system for the Walking City, because the project kept on changing.
Mm. So we want to think, what kind of artificial intelligence has a right to decide for so many people? Like, who decides where this Walking City go? So then we created this new system called Hive, and it's the swarming operating system in open sailing. So obviously we all have different fears and different needs. So Hive is an online system that I just programmed that should reflect your personal fears. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to demonstrate it to you. So Hive Be Global. So maybe I'm more scared about